It is so bright. I have a ring light on and I need to, like, you can't see me without the light, but man, it is bright. Hola, ¿cómo están? Hello. Thank you for clicking on my video. I hope this video is interesting. I would assume it is if you clicked it, but just in case it was accidental, thank you for clicking, and I hope you stick around for the end of this video. And if you like what you see, please click that subscribe button, click the thumbs up button to let YouTube's algorithm know that you like this kind of video and that they should show more of my videos to people across the interwebs. It has been quite a while since I have filmed a BookTube. I think it's been more than a year. Yeah. So, a couple of reasons for that. I won't go into all the details because that's not why you're here, but essentially I started school again about a year ago, and as such, reading for pleasure has been put on the back burner where I'm reading, constantly because I'm a full-time student again. And it's not always, books that I would just pick up because I'm excited to read them. It's because of the required reading for my courses. So, as you can imagine, I haven't, stopped reading. I just haven't been reading for my own self. Okay, BookTube take 2, because I am silly and forgot to grab the book, or the other book, whatever book. A lot of the books that I've been reading lately are not for pleasure, they're for schoolwork. I'm not going to count that in as, BookTube necessarily. I mean, if you're interested in it, let me know. There's some required reading that has been really fascinating. Such as the textbook for my Native American history course, and some of the business classes have interesting books. I don't know if that's interesting. Communications courses, that kind of thing. So, I don't know, if you're interested, let me know. Probably not, because it's kind of, bleh. The last time I did a BookTube, it was a random TBR where I pulled, a book name out of this random assortment of books, and I haven't touched this in a year, so it's a little dusty. But the last book I had picked up was the Sherlock Holmes Treasury, and this is split up into 2 separate volumes. So the first volume and the second volume. I haven't read the entire book, to be honest. The part that I read was the first part, which were the original stories, the original short stories featuring Sherlock Holmes in the, forgive me, I don't remember, but whatever, print press or newspaper they were originally published in. So that was the BookTube. That was the TBR, was to read all of the short stories from volume 1. And there are 24 of them. It sounds like, a reasonable amount, but it is 326 pages with really small font. Just saying. I can't freaking talk. Quick synopsis. I find that the pace of reading is pretty short because they are short stories. You can get through a short story, or at least I can get through a short story in about 20 to 30 minutes-ish, depending on where I'm at and if there's any distractions and such. But it did take me a really long time to get through. In fact, I just finished the last 2 stories. So the last 3 stories in the first volume are all connected. So it's like chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 of a 3-part series. So I had read the first part, but never finished the second and third parts. And I had finished reading the first part like 9 months ago or something like that, and just never finished reading. And I don't know if it was because of school or if it's just because I was so tired of reading Sherlock Holmes. I don't know, but I find that the stories are really interesting. I find them fun to read. However, after reading 24 of them in a row, they all kind of just jumble together and it's hard to keep track of them. And I felt like I was reading the same storyline over and over and over again. I don't know. Has anybody else read all of Sherlock Holmes or any of the stories and have a different opinion? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But yeah, that was just the take of it. I can't even tell you about any specific storyline except for maybe like a couple of points and plots that had happened. Like, this guy was working and then he got called away from his desk. He was transcribing important documents for foreign governments, and the paperwork, it needed to be handled in the utmost of care and discretion, and he got called away, and then when he came back it was missing. So, it's something simple, but then when you read through it, it's like, oh, That's what happened. That makes sense. That's pretty clever, actually. So I think that the stories are really fun. They're interesting. I just had a really hard time kind of getting through all of them in one fell swoop. I don't know. That's just me. But that's the synopsis. I do highly recommend reading Sherlock Holmes, and if you've ever watched any movies or TV shows based on it, like, you get it. Like, his character makes more sense, especially with the way that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the author, had penned and described Sherlock and his brother and the situations they encountered. Basically, he was a cocaine addict who was too smart for his own good, and I think he might have had a little bit of ADD. I don't know. That's how I take him, and the cocaine helped him, you know, kind of collect his thoughts and work harder and get his crap together. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So anyway, that's the synopsis of Sherlock Holmes, Volume 1. I would recommend reading it if you like that kind of thing. This was not in my TBR, but it was something that I noticed had come out and I was super excited, so I ordered it on Amazon, and it's the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children, book number 5, Conference of the Birds. I'm not going to give any plot twists away in case some of you haven't had a chance to read this yet. I am obsessed with this series. It's so good. I did not like the movie. I don't think the movie did the book series justice at all. If you've watched the movie but haven't read the series, no. Just read the books. They tried to condense like a whole series into one single book, and they cut out so many storylines. It's just, no. Read the books. Book number 5 does not disappoint. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that I can't get book 6 anytime soon because, you know, it probably won't be released for another year or two. But where it left off leaves you just thinking, I need to know what happens next. If you read book 4, it's the start of a new story arc, so it's not the same plot line as the first 3 books. It's like with TV, you have different seasons. This is like season 2 with a new story arc. This book picks up exactly where book 4 or the previous book had left off, so you immediately get answers, you immediately get resolve of the issue that's at hand, and you feel like, okay, I get it, this is good to know. I do recommend, you know, kind of skimming through the last chapter or 2 of the previous book just to kind of get your mind wrapped around the theme and what's going on so you can know exactly where you left off and pick it up immediately as you start reading through this one. I obviously enjoy this book because I purchased it just a couple of days after it was released. So, yay! You know what time it is. Going back to my Chocolates of the World container from Costco. That still kind of smells like chocolate. Does anybody else go to Costco at the end of the year to buy these big jars of chocolate? Because they're so good. Alright, so what kind of book am I going to pick next? Green. You know what's sad is I don't remember what these colors mean. Oh yeah, they're nonfiction and fiction, but I can't remember if this was fiction or nonfiction. I guess we'll see. Oh. No. This is ironic. Really? Can I throw this one out? The irony of this book, I tell you what. Me going through this whole thing means that I need to tell a quick story. So I was laid off in December because my role was eliminated at the company I'd worked for just shy of 7 years. And it was a wonderful company to work for the most part. And this book was written by the previous CEO of the company I just left. So the book is called Zillow Talk. Yes, I used to work for Zillow. So this is about real estate trends. Now you see the irony. But I'll read it because I haven't read it all the way through. I read like the first chapter and it was given to me from the company I worked at. It was free, so I don't think I have to disclose like the FTC stuff because I don't work for them anymore. But yeah, the irony of picking that book. I'll tell you what, that's sip worthy. I guess it's time to go pick up my Zillow Talk and stop this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next BookTube and synopsis of Zillow Talk when I am finished reading it. So there's a suggested video here for you, something that might pique your interest. If you're interested in other content like vlogs or whatever, be sure to check out the rest of my channel and hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!